morning, dear children. Let us continue the lesson Respiration in Organisms. And last class we have discussed about the human respiratory system and how respiration takes place in human. And also we have discussed about the two types of cellular respiration, that is aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Okay, and today's class we are going to discuss about the breathing in different living organisms. Okay, then how breathing takes place in different living things, isn't it? Let's see how respiration takes place in insects. Okay, how respiration takes place in insects. You know, actually the respiratory system of an insect is known as actually the tracheal system. Okay, what is actually tracheal system? The respiratory system of an insect, actually that is known as tracheal system. Okay, the respiratory system of an insect is actually called the tracheal system, and this tracheal system consists of spiracles and tracheae. Okay, tracheal system consists of spiracles and tracheae. Actually, what are spiracles? Actually, these are tiny holes that is located on the body of an insect. Okay, through which actually air is taken into their body. Okay, what are spiracles? Spiracles are actually tiny holes located on the body of an insect through which air is taken into their body. Listen to it. And here the spiracles open into a narrow tube that is called the tracheae. Okay, the spiracles that is open into a narrow tube that is called the tracheae. Okay, the respiratory system of an insect that is called the tracheal system, and this tracheal system consists of spiracles and tracheae. And here the spiracles are the narrow tiny holes located on the body of an insect, and these spiracles that ends into a narrow tube that is called tracheae. Actually, this tracheae that forms the entire network in the body of an insect. Okay, actually tracheae forms what? It forms the form a network. Okay, the tracheae form a network in the entire body through which actually air, this air is supplied to the entire part of the body. Since this tracheae that forms the network throughout the body, so the air is easily circulated through the every part of the body of an insect. Okay, also this air sacs that is also attached to the tracheal system. Okay, the air sacs are also attached to the tracheal system. These are the important parts of the respiratory system of an insect. Actually, that consists of spiracles, then tracheae, then air sacs. Okay, the respiratory system of an insect consists of spiracles, tracheae, and air sacs. Have you got it? And here the respiratory system of an insect that is called the tracheal system, and this tracheal system consists of spiracles and tracheae. Actually, what are spiracles? These are the tiny holes located on the body of an insect. Then what is the function of these spiracles? Actually, through spiracles the air is taken into the body of an insect. Okay, then these spiracles that open into a narrow tube that is actually called the trachea. Okay, tracheae, and this spiracles that open into a narrow tube that is called the tracheae. Actually, this tracheae that forms a network through which actually air is transported to every part of the body, and also air sac is also attached to the tracheal system. Okay, that is about the respiration in insects. Okay, next about respiration in birds. Okay, respiration in birds. Actually, the birds have lungs with the air sacs. Birds have lungs with the air sacs. Actually, these air sacs that make the body of the bird light in weight. Okay, that is due to the presence of this air sac that make the body of the bird light in weight. Actually, this is an adaptation that helps the birds fly. Okay, actually this is an adaptation that helps birds fly because their body feels light in weight due to the presence of this air sacs. That is why it can fly very easily. Okay, actually this is an adaptation. Okay, and here the respiration in birds, actually the respiratory system, actually that includes lungs with the air sacs. Okay, the respiratory organs of these in birds, actually they are lungs with the air sacs, and due to the presence of this air sac that make the body of the bird light in weight. Okay, actually this is an adaptation that helps birds fly, isn't it? That is about the respiration in birds. Let's see how respiration takes place in microorganisms. Okay, microorganisms like amoeba that has a moist body surface. So the gaseous exchange actually takes place through the moist body surface. Okay, here the microorganisms like amoeba, here actually the gaseous exchange takes place through their moist body surface. Okay, microorganisms like amoeba, actually the gaseous exchange or the respiration that takes place through the moist body surface. Also the organisms which has a soft body skin, for example earthworm. Earthworm that lives in moist soil. Okay, earthworm actually they lives in moist soil. Okay, also it has about the moist skin. So the gaseous exchange that takes place through this moist skin. Okay, and here the entire body that will act as the respiratory organ. In the case of earthworm, the entire body that will act as the respiratory organ. Okay, so the earthworm that cannot live in dry soil. Okay, and here why the earthworms that cannot live in dry soil? Because actually this for earthworm the entire body surface that will act as the respiratory organ. Listen it. That is why the earthworm that cannot live in dry soil. Okay, and here the microorganisms like amoeba which has a moist body surface. So the gaseous exchange that takes place through the moist body surface. And when we consider earthworm, it has moist skin. Here also the gaseous exchange that takes place through the moist skin. And here the entire body surface that will act as the respiratory organ. Okay, so that is why the earthworm that cannot live in dry soil. The next respiration in frogs. Respiration in frogs. Frog live both on land as well as in water. Okay, frogs live both on land as well as in water. Actually, they take in some oxygen through their moist skin when they are in water. Okay, they take it oxygen through the moist skin when they are in water, and they also have lungs. Okay, frogs also have lungs. Then frogs breathe in air from the atmosphere even when they are in water. Okay, actually frogs breathe in air from the atmosphere even when they are in water. Listen it. And here the frogs they live on land as well as in water. That thing actually they take oxygen through the moist skin when they are in water. They also have lungs actually. And these frogs that breathe in air from the atmosphere even though when they are in water. Okay. Also the animals such as sea snakes and sea turtles. Actually they live on oceans. They also have lungs. Okay, sea snakes and sea turtles, they live in oceans. They also have lungs. So they breathe in air directly from the atmosphere. Okay, they can breathe and absorb air directly from the atmosphere. Okay, the animals such as snakes, then sea turtles, they live in actually ocean. They have lungs, so they can breathe in air directly from the atmosphere. Okay, that is about the respiration in frogs, then sea snakes and sea turtles. Okay. Next about respiration in fishes. Respiration in fishes. Actually, fishes that respire through gills. Okay, fishes respire through gills. Actually, the gills are full of blood vessels. Okay, and here the gaseous exchange occurs when water that flows over the gills. Okay, so the oxygen from the water that diffuses into the blood in the gills, and it is carried to the every part of the body. Okay, actually here the gaseous exchange takes place when water that flows over gills, and here the oxygen from the water that diffuses in the blood. Okay, in the gills, actually the gills that is full of blood vessels. Okay, that means it filled with blood. So the oxygen from the water that diffuses into the blood in the gills, and it is carried to every part of the body. And similarly, the carbon dioxide in the blood of fish that diffuses out into the water from the gills. Okay, you know, the carbon dioxide that present in the blood of fish that diffuses out into water from the gills. In this way, actually the respiration that takes place in fishes. Okay, then what is the respiratory organ of fishes? Actually, gills. That is the fishes that respire through gills. And here the gaseous exchange that occurs when water diffuses over the gills. Okay, and here the oxygen from the water that diffuses in the blood in the gills, and it is carried to the entire part of the body. Similarly, the carbon dioxide that present in the blood of fish that diffuses out into water from the gills. Okay, that is about the respiration in fishes. Also, you know, the aquatic animals such as lobsters, then prawns, crabs, then shellfish. All these things that respire through gills. Okay, lobsters, then prawns, then crabs and shellfish. These are respire through gills. Okay, and that is about the respiration in fishes. Next, about respiration in plants. Okay, you know, most of the plants make glucose and obtain energy from it. Okay, that is through the process of photosynthesis, plants make glucose and obtain energy from it. Plants too respire aerobically. Okay, you know, what is aerobic respiration? That respiration takes place in presence of oxygen. That is actually the aerobic respiration. Here the plants too respire aerobically. Okay, that means they use oxygen to break down glucose to obtain energy. Okay, that is for the breaking down of glucose, plants use oxygen. Okay, thereby it obtain what? Energy. Okay, and they take in air from atmosphere through stomata. Okay, you know, you heard about stomata. I think you already learned in the first chapter about stomata. Actually, these are the tiny holes on the leaf surface. That is actually stomata. Okay, actually that take oxygen present in the air through the tiny pores on the leaves of plants, and these are actually called the stomata. That is, they take in air from from atmosphere through stomata. Okay, actually these stomata are larger in number on the leaves. These are the tiny pores on the leaves of plants. Okay. And also the roots of plants also need oxygen to respire. The roots of plants also need what? Oxygen to respire. And here they take in air present in the soil. Okay. Also, actually, when the land remains waterlogged, that time the roots does not obtain enough oxygen. Okay. Suppose when land remains waterlogged, the roots that does not obtain enough oxygen. Okay, that time this actually that distract the roots of plants, and also the plant dies. Okay, if the land remains waterlogged, the roots of plants does not obtain enough oxygen. Okay, that is why the roots get destroyed and also the plant dies. Okay, that is about the respiration in plants. Okay, that is about the respiration in plants. So we can say breathing is a characteristics of all living things. You know, breathing is a characteristics of all living things. But this process is not same for all. Okay, the process of breathing is not same for all, or the organs that involved in breathing is not same for all living things. Okay, in fact, all animals have to breathe in a way so they get adapted to its environment. Okay, in fact, all animals have to breathe in a way so that they get adapted to its environment. Okay, that is about the respiration in different living organisms. Okay, okay, that is the end of today's class. Also, we have finished the lesson. Thank you, children.